Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really getting into something I think a lot of you might recognize that challenge gyms have, keeping members happy and, well, staying members when there are just so many fitness options out there.
It's a huge hurdle. Retention is tough.
Exactly. So we've got this white paper by jthomas called the Netflix Gym Model.
Ah, yeah, I've seen that. Interesting stuff.
Right. And our mission today is basically to pull out the core ideas. How can a gym become, essential? So essential that leaving just feels wrong.
Making it indispensable, not just a place you go, but something you really value. Thomas uses that Netflix comparison, which is pretty smart.
Okay, so let's start there. The first big concept is this idea of bundling value, like Netflix does with its huge library, right? One fee, tons of stuff.
Exactly. And for a gym, this means thinking way beyond just access to the treadmills and weights.
So what kind of things are we talking about?
Well, Thomas gives examples like having on-demand workouts available. That's pretty crucial now, right? For days you can't physically get there.
Oh, absolutely. Life happens.
And custom nutrition templates. So it's not just fitness. It's overall wellness support. He even mentions things like branded swag every quarter.
Swag. Like T-shirts and stuff.
Yeah, shirts, shakers, that kind of thing. It seems small, but it builds that connection, that identity.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
Like you're part of the club. The paper also talks about guest passes each month.
Right. Let members bring friends. It's good marketing, but it also makes the member feel, empowered, like they're sharing something good.
And weekly live Q&As or mindset coaching. That really elevates it beyond just a physical space, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. You bundle all these different things, the physical access, digital content, coaching, swag, guest passes, and suddenly the perceived value is way higher.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's harder to just say, oh, I only use the treadmill, so it's not worth it.
Precisely. It becomes this whole ecosystem supporting your well-being, not just paying for machines.
So you're shifting from selling access to selling, like, a whole solution.
You got it.
Okay, cool. Then the next strategy Thomas outlines is creating exclusive members-only content.
Yeah, the Netflix originals for the gym world.
Huh. Good way to put it. So, content you literally cannot get unless you're a member.
Right. Builds loyalty, keeps people hooked. He suggests things like weekly insider workouts, maybe from your best trainers.
Ooh, I like that. Feels like you're getting something special.
Totally. Or doing transformation interviews with actual members. Think about how motivating that could be.
Yeah, seeing people you recognize getting results, that builds community too.
For sure. And even simple things like behind-the-scenes stuff, maybe showing gym upgrades or introducing staff, makes it feel more personal.
Less corporate, more human.
Exactly.
Right.
Add in guided mindset sessions, maybe injury prevention tips online, even just giving members a first look at new classes or equipment.
It all feeds into that feeling of, being an insider, part of something exclusive.
That's the goal. It makes membership feel less like a transaction and more like, belonging.
Okay, so we have the bundled value making it feel worthwhile, and the exclusive content making it feel special. What else does the model suggest?
The next piece is pretty interesting. It's about using behavioral nudges.
Nudges, like gentle pushes.
Kinda, yeah. Subtle prompts to help reinforce the exercise habit. Think about how Netflix just autoplays the next episode or gives you recommendations. It keeps you engaged.
Okay, so how does a gym do that without being, annoying?
That's the key, right? It has to be subtle and feel supportive, not pushy. The white paper mentions maybe sending an SMS or email if someone misses, say, 3 days in a row.
How would that work?
It wouldn't be like, where were you? More like, hey, notice you haven't been in. Everything okay? Here's a quick 10-minute workout you could do at home. See? Supportive.
Okay, yeah, that framing is important. What else?
Things like awarding digital badges for hitting workout streaks or check-in milestones. Taps into that achievement drive.
Gamification, basic.
Pretty much. And next step messages, like after you've checked in 10 times, maybe you get a message suggesting a group class you might like.
Guiding people deeper into the offerings.
Exactly. And even scheduling specific ritual classes, like a Monday momentum class or a wind down Wednesday yoga.
So you build it into your routine. It becomes less of a decision each time.
Right. The goal, as Thomas puts it, is to make going to the gym less of a conscious effort and more of an automatic part of your life. Integrated.
That's a powerful shift. Okay, moving on. Tiered pricing. Netflix obviously does this. How can gyms use it effectively for retention?
Well, the main idea is giving people options other than just quitting cold turkey. If someone's thinking of canceling, maybe because of cost or, their needs change.
You offer them a different level.
Exactly. Thomas suggests maybe an essential tier, that's your basic gym access, maybe the digital content library.
Okay, bare bones.
Then maybe a pro tier that adds group classes, perhaps access to recovery tools like massage chairs or saunas.
For the more regular, engaged user.
Yeah. Right. And then you could have an elite tier, top level. That includes maybe some personal coaching credits, the quarterly swag drops we talked about, VIP event access.
For the super committed members.
You got it. So if someone on Pro or Elite is thinking of leaving,
You can say, hey, what about trying the essential tier for a while?
precisely, you keep them in the ecosystem, you still get some revenue, you maintain that relationship, and maybe down the line they upgrade again. It's about flexibility, reducing that churn.
That makes a lot of sense. Keep them in the fold somehow. Okay, another huge element, you mentioned it earlier, is community. Thomas calls it building a tribe.
Yeah, this is critical. It goes way beyond just having friendly staff, although that's important too.
It's about the members connecting with each other.
Definitely. Fostering a real sense of belonging, like you're all in it together. He suggests actually naming the community,
Naming it.
like the Iron Collective or Team Phoenix or whatever fits the gym's vibe. It creates an identity.
Huh. Simple, but I can see how that would work.
And celebrating milestones publicly, member anniversaries, PRs, give shout outs, make people feel seen.
That personal recognition feels good.
For sure. And organizing things beyond workouts. Monthly member mixers, maybe charity drives, social fitness challenges, stuff that builds connections.
Creates those social bonds.
Yeah.
I remember joining a running club once, and the social side was almost as important as the runs.
Exactly. Thomas also mentions referral rewards that aren't just discounts, but maybe enhanced status, like bring a friend, get early access to class signups or something.
Reinforces the insider feeling again.
Right. At the end of the day, people are just much less likely to leave a place where they feel they truly belong, where they have real connections. It taps into something fundamental.
It makes leaving feel like losing your friends, not just canceling a subscription.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, so you've built this value, this exclusivity, these habits, this community, but you can't just sit back, right? Netflix is always adding stuff.
That's the next principle. Continuously releasing new value. You got to keep things fresh. Prevent stagnation.
So what does that look like in a gym context? Constantly buying huge new machines.
Not necessarily huge things all the time. Thomas suggests smaller, regular updates, maybe some new dumbbells, resistance bands, or just rearranging a section quarterly shows investment.
Keeps the environment feeling dynamic.
Yeah. And launching new fitness challenges regularly, maybe every 90 days, gives people new goals.
Keeps them engaged.
Yeah.
What about the digital side?
Refreshing that on-demand video library monthly is key. Adding new workouts, new instructors, spotlighting a class of the month can encourage people to try new things.
Mix it up.
And sometimes just surprising members, unexpected bonus perks. Maybe a free smoothie coupon randomly emailed out, or a small discount on merchandise one month. Little delights.
The element of surprise keeps things interesting.
It's all about showing that the gym is evolving, that the membership continues to offer more over time, gives members ongoing reasons to stay curious and stick around.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. Bundling, content, nudges, tiers, tribe, new value. If you had to boil down the core message of this whole Netflix gym model from Jim Thomas, what would it be?
I think the biggest takeaway is a fundamental mind shift. It's about realizing you're not just selling access to equipment anymore.
You're selling what?
Transformation,
Hmm?
a lifestyle, an experience. Thomas really emphasizes designing that whole member journey, focusing on belonging, layering all that value we talked about.
And thinking more like a content platform. Always engaging, always adding.
Exactly. Less like a warehouse for weights, more like a dynamic service that integrates into people's lives.
So moving away from being just a commodity. Because anyone can offer treadmills, right?
Right. But not everyone can build that deep connection, that sense of indispensable value. That requires a much more holistic strategy.
It's about making the gym so ingrained in their routine and identity that canceling feels like, well, losing a part of themselves.
That's the ultimate goal, yeah. Making leaving feel like a real loss, not just a financial decision.
Okay, so just to recap the big pillars. Bundle that value high. Create exclusive content they can't get elsewhere. Use subtle behavioral nudges. Offer tiered pricing for flexibility. Build a real tribe, a community. And never stop adding new value.
That nails it. It's a comprehensive approach to making that membership incredibly sticky.
And, listening to this, these ideas feel like they could apply way beyond just gyms, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. Any membership business, really. Anyone trying to build long-term loyalty and engagement could learn from these principles. It's about creating inherent value that lasts.
Definitely broadens the perspective.
Hmm.
So maybe the final thought to leave you with today is this. What if the real key to keeping customers, members, anyone engaged long-term isn't just what you offer them, but how deeply you manage to weave yourself into their life, their routine, even their identity?
That's something to really chew on. How deep does that integration go?
Definitely food for thought.